I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise that we're you.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is Bruna. Today we are going to be learning this beautiful stitch pattern that you can see right here in front of you. Yes, this is a beautiful pattern. I'm not sure 100%, I'm not sure the name of this pattern. I've looked everywhere. The only thing that I could find was the Catherine and the Harlequin patterns, stitch patterns, and it's very similar to this one, but I'm not sure if this is what is called, because this one is worked going around into a square and the Catherine and the Harlequin are worked in rounds. So I'm not really sure the name of this one. My auntie, she taught me how to crochet this pattern because she was obsessed with this pattern so much. She had a lot of things made with this pattern: cushion covers, blankets, placemats, table runners. She had many different things crocheted with this pattern, and it's one of my favorite patterns ever because it works up so fast. So if you don't use a smaller yarn, as I'm using here, I'm using a DK yarn, if you just size up a little bit, then you will work this pattern up so fast. For example, for a baby blanket, or even for a bigger blanket, or if you want to work smaller squares and then do something a little bit different, for example a jumper, a cardigan. And I'm so happy that I can share this one with you because I'm pretty sure you're gonna love to crochet, and also you're gonna love how this looks as well once you finish crocheting. I'm not really sure what I'm going to be crocheting with this. Let me know in the comments your ideas. Maybe I can just use one of your ideas and crochet something with this beautiful stitch pattern here, because I'm definitely going to be doing something with this because it's so beautiful. I really hope you guys like today's video. I hope you have a lot of fun watching me crocheting this. If you're not going to be crocheting, just watching the tutorial. And if you do, don't forget to leave your massive thumbs up as you always do, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and also to turn on the notification bell to receive notifications every time I post a new video. And also, if you end up posting this on Instagram, don't forget to tag me at Brunaticality so that I can see your finished project using this stitch pattern. So I really hope you like it. So now let's begin. So these are all the materials I'm going to be using to crochet our beautiful pattern in today's video. So here I have 5 different shades. I'm doing 5 rounds for this pattern, so it's a little swatch that I'm going to be doing. And I'm using here the Bravissimo 50 by Teslan.com, and this one is a DK number 3 yarn. And I'm going to be linking all the shades, these ones here, in the description below, so feel free to check it out. It's a super cheap yarn and the quality is amazing. I love this yarn so much. It's my absolute favorite, and is 100% acrylic as well. And at the same time, so soft and is not scratchy or anything like that. You will love this yarn if you give it a try. And then I'm going to be using a small pair of scissors, a 3.5mm hook, and then a tapestry needle so that we can weave in all our little ends. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. So now let's begin with the tutorial. So I'm going to be starting with my nude beige yarn, and we are going to be creating first a magic ring. And then we are going to be chaining 1 that is not going to count as a stitch. And then following that, we are going to be creating 4 double crochets going around the ring. So the first 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we are going to be chaining 2 and creating 4 more double crochets around the ring. And then we are going to be chaining 2. So the very first round is very similar to a granny square. So we are doing 4 double crochets, chain 2, 4 double crochets, chain 2, and then we are going to be repeating that 2 more times. And then chain 2 right after the last 4 double crochets. Close the magic ring nice and tight, just like that. And now we are going to be finding the very first double crochet. It's going to be here, so you're going to be counting 1, 2, 3, into the fourth, the first double crochet, we are going to slip stitch. So here we have the first round completed, and this one here is going to be the first shade we are going to be using. Now we can fasten off and change into the next shade. So chain 1, cut your yarn, and then slide it off and pull nice and tight to fasten off. So here's the first round. So now we can put this aside, grab the next shade. I'm going to be using the copper. I'm going to be creating here a slip knot so that I can attach my yarn in place. And also I just wanted to add here that this project is always worked on the right side of the pattern. So we are not twisting, we are not turning or anything. We are always going to be working on the right side of the pattern. Just wanted to add that. Maybe it's useful for some of you guys, I'm not sure, but just to let you know. So choose any of the corners to start your new round. I'm going to be doing this one. Go through that, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through, creating a single crochet. And then we are going to chain 2 to start with, because the single crochet at the beginning counts as one chain. So we just have to do a chain of 2 right after that. So now we are going to be doing a cluster with 4 double crochets together, grabbing all of the stitches that we have into this shell, the very first shell here, the very first cluster. So how we are going to be doing that, first you're going to be wrapping the yarn around the hook. You're going to be inserting into the first stitch. We have 4 double crochets here. We are going to be using all of them. So insert into the first one, pull up a loop, and then you're going to yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops on the hook, and then you're going to be keeping that last one on the hook like this, and then you're going to wrap the yarn around the hook again, insert into the next stitch, you're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, keeping the last one on the hook, and then you're going to be doing the same for the next stitches. At the end, you should have 5 loops on the hook, just like that, counting this first one. So 5 loops. All you have to do is to yarn over and pull through all the loops together. And then we are going to chain 3. We are going to go into the next corner, chain 2 space, and then we are going to create a single crochet. And then now we are going to chain 3 again, all into that same corner. And now we can do the same into the next shell cluster that we have here. So this one has the slip stitch, so you kind of have to check where the stitch is gonna go, the first one. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I found my first stitch. And then you're going to be doing the same as we did into this side. So you're going to be wrapping the yarn around the hook, insert into the next stitch, you're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, keeping that last one on the hook, wrap the yarn around the hook, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And then repeat that into the next 2 stitches. Now you should have 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all loops together, chain 3, and then you're going to go into the next chain 2 space, into the next corner, and then you go into single crochet, and then you go into chain 3, and then repeat again into this cluster, and then do the same all the way down as well. So we are going to be having 4 of this little cluster going around. So now I got here at the end, I'm going to chain 3, so it's everything the same all the way around. And then what I like to do here is just create another single crochet into that chain 2 space, into the last corner, and then I just create a slip stitch into the single crochet, just in the middle of the single crochet. Insert your hook there, pull up a loop and slip stitch. It just closes a little bit better here, the end of the round. You will see that looks a little bit better. So now from here we are going to be continuing, and we are going to be creating the next round, which is the third one, to complete the next square, because every color that we use will be a completed square. Is going to look like this one, but all the way around. You will see. It looks weird at the beginning, but at the end it's so beautiful. So now for the next round, we are gonna go from here straight into this stitch right below this entire stitch. So we have like a little stitch here. This is the one that we are going to be using. You will see that we are going to be having this bigger stitch at the beginning of the stitch. So we have the chain 3 on both sides. Let me just show you so that you know exactly where we are going to be doing the next part. So we have the chain 3s here on the sides, and then we have 2 stitches that looks like stitches. They are stitches, but we are going to be using this one here, all right? Not this one. Just wanted to make sure that you know which one we are going to be using now. So you're going to be wrapping the yarn around the hook. We are going to go straight into a double crochet into that stitch. So wrap the yarn around the hook, go through that stitch. You're going to pull up a loop, and then you're going to be creating a double crochet. And then we are going to be creating in total 4 double crochets for the very first part. So 2, 3, 4, and then we are going to chain 2 and then creating 4 double crochets into that same stitch. So 2, 3, 4, and then chain 2 and then 4 more double crochets into that same stitch. That's why we need to get a tighter stitch rather than the other one, because we are inserting into that stitch quite a lot of stitches. So you want to make sure that it's a nice stitch that is not going to open it up when we add a lot of stitches around. So here's the last double crochet. So this is how it looks. You can see that it looks already like a square. So now we are going to be finding the single crochet into the previous round, and we are going to be creating another single crochet on top. And then from here, we are going to be following the same step as we did here into the next stitch. So here we have 2 stitches at the top of this stitch. So we have the first one and the second, so get the second one. And then we are going to be doing the same steps as we did into here. So first we are going to be doing 4 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then chain 2, 4 double crochets, chain 2 and 4 double crochets all into that same stitch. And then you're going to be finding the single crochet and then creating a single crochet right on top. So now here you can see the stitch a little bit better. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this 2 more times, following here the pattern, and then I will be back so that I can show you the next round. So once you get at the end, you will find the single crochet, and then you can just single crochet on top, and now we can chain 1, cut the yarn, we can then fasten off, and now we can bring the next shade. I'm doing the green. So with the green, we create a slip knot. So now to attach the yarn, we are going to be doing into this corner on the right side into this chain 2 space. So we have this one and then the top one. So we have the side and the top, so into this one, because then it's easier to work our pattern around, and then also you can find yourself easier as well when working this pattern. And what we are going to be doing now is create a square base all the way around. So now we are not going to be having any of the little points. We are going to be making the pattern straight again so that we can create the next square. So we are going to be following what we've done into the second round, but this time we have the dips here, so we are going to be creating what we've created here, the cluster with the 4 double crochets together into this side, and it's going to be together, and then into the corners here we are going to be doing what we've created into the second round. It sounds crazy, but it's super easy. So go into that chain 2 space and then attach this yarn with a single crochet, and then we are going to chain 2. And now we are going to be creating the cluster, the 4 double crochets together into the next 4 stitches, exactly what we've created into the second round. So wrap the yarn around the hook, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2, keeping the last one on the hook, and then you're going to be doing that into the next 3 stitches. So we are going to be having 4 double crochets in total, and then 5 loops going around the hook. So once you have that, we are going to yarn over, pull through, and here we are not going to chain 3. So into the deeps will be different than what we are going to be creating here into the flat corners. So first you want to make sure that this part is nice and tight so that we don't have a large gap here in the middle of the stitch. And then you're going to wrap the yarn around the hook, insert into the first stitch. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 here into the first one you can find, and then you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, keeping the last one on the hook, and then follow the same into the next 3 stitches, having 4 double crochets and 5 loops going around the hook. Do this one again. There we go. So just like the other side, and then you're going to yarn over, pull through all the loops together, and now we have the first part completed. And then you're going to chain 3 and then single crochet into the chain 2 space. That's it. So now here into the flat corner we are going to do a chain of 3, and then we are going to be creating the cluster, the 4 double crochets together into the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yarn over, pull through all the loops, and now you can see that it's getting nice and straight. So we are going to then chain 3 and then single crochet into the next chain 2 space. So this corner, it's exactly what we've created into the second round, so it's a little bit easier. So now we are going to be repeating again this stitch into the little deep, the next deep. So first chain 3, and then you're going to be doing the 4 double crochets together into the next 4 stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So 1, 2, 3, and then the last one 4. Yarn over, pull through all the loops, and then from here making sure that it's nice and tight, go into the next stitch, and then we are going to be creating 4 double crochets together into the next 4. So this is the first one, second, third, fourth. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then yarn over, pull through all loops, chain 3, and then single crochet into the next chain 2 space. And then from here we can just do this little stitch into the flat corner. So chain 3 and then 4 double crochets together into the next 4 stitches. And then chain 3, single crochet into the chain 2 space. And we are going to be following the same all the way around. So into the deeps we are going to be creating this, and into the flat corner we are going to be creating what we've created into the flat corner here. So just follow the same all the way around, and then I'm going to meet you right at the end. So I got here at the end, as you can see, so I've created my last 4 double crochets together. I'm going to then chain 3. Remember that I like to do something a little bit different here because otherwise it's a kind of like a bigger gap here at the end. So I just like to do a second single crochet and then slip stitch into the next one. So the next round will be the last one that we are going to be doing something new for this pattern. The rest will just be following the same steps as we already did around the pattern here. So now we have this new stitch going on. We are going to be using this stitch that it's right in between the two stitches with the 4 double crochets together. So right here, this is the stitch that we are going to be working now on top, and we are going to be doing 2 sets of 4 double crochets into this stitch. So we are going to go straight into double crochet, go into that stitch, create the first double crochet here, and then we are going to be doing 4 double crochets in total first into this stitch. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then we are going to chain 2 and then 4 more double crochets into that same stitch. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and that's it. So we have 2 clusters in a way at the bottom and then 2 at the top, and that creates the completed square. And then we are going to be finding now the single crochet, go into that single crochet and create a single crochet right on top. You will see that it's going to open a little bit, a little gap in between there, but it's completely fine. This is how the pattern is supposed to be. And now we got into the corner. The corners will always be the same, and all the rest of the pattern, this is just a new, this previous one here was just a new one that we had to learn for the pattern. But now from here, when you get to the corner, it's exactly the same as we've been doing previously. So we are going to, from here, go straight into that little stitch that I showed you previously. And then we are going to be doing 4 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then chain 2, create 4 double crochets, and then chain 2 and then 4 double crochets, and then you're going to insert into that single crochet and then create a single crochet right on top into that stitch. So now you can see here that we have a square into here, the middle of this 2, so into that deep, and then we have another square into the corner. So now we are going to be following this step into the next one, into here. So we are going straight into the middle stitch in between the 2 clusters, into that stitch, and then we are going to be doing 4 double crochets, a chain of 2, and then 4 double crochets into that same stitch. Just like that. And then we are going to be finding the single crochet. Into that single crochet, we are going to single crochet right on top. And here's the pattern. So now we got into that corner again, and we are going to be doing 4 double crochets, chain 2, 4 double crochets, chain 2, and 4 double crochets. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and then I'm going to be following the same into the deep, into the middle, and then into corner, middle, corner, and then I'm going to meet you here when I get into this last single crochet. So once you get at the end, I've created my last corner, as you can see. So go into the single crochet. Remember that here we have 2 single crochets, just choose any of them, maybe the last one is going to be better. And then we are going to slip stitch, and then you can chain one, cut the yarn and fasten off, because now we are going to be bringing the next shade. So now we are going to be bringing the next shade. I'm going to be using the mustard, and then this one I'm going to be doing off the camera because this one is a little bit too dark for me to show you in the camera, so that's why I'm going to be doing with the mustard first. So I'm going to be starting with a slip knot. I'm going to be attaching exactly the same as I did for the green. So I'm going to be starting on the right side into this top chain 2 space, going to this one and single crochet to attach the yarn in place. And then now from here we can do the stitch that goes into the deep. We have 2 deeps, so we are going to do that, and then I'm going to show you what to do when you get to this point. And then the same for the corner, the flat corner, as we've been doing. So first we are going to chain 2 for the beginning here, and then we are going to be creating the 4 double crochets together into the next 4 stitches. There we go. So you want to make sure that it's nice and tight so that we can do the other side of this part of the stitch. So we are going to be doing the same as we did into round number 4. So now we have the other side of the deep. So we have 4 stitches. So we are going to be doing 4 double crochets together into the next 4 stitches. Yarn over, pull through all loops. And then we are going to chain 3. So now we have the middle chain 2 space. So all we have to do is to create a single crochet into that chain 2 space. And then from here, we are going to be having another deep. So we are going to chain 3. And then we are going to be doing 4 double crochets together into this side, and then 4 double crochets together into the other side to complete this deep section that we have here. And then we are going to chain 3 and then single crochet into the next chain 2 space. So when we get into the corners, so we are right here into the flat corners, we are going to be just doing exactly the same as we did previously. So we are going to chain 3, and then into the next 4 stitches we are going to be doing 4 double crochets together, just as we have been doing. And then now we chain 3, we single crochet into the next chain 2 space, and then we chain 3. And now we can repeat the same what we did into this side here into both of these deeps. So we are going to be doing 4 double crochets together into the next 4 stitches. Make sure that is nice and tight, and then 4 double crochets together into the next 4 stitches, and then chain 3, single crochet into the next chain 2 space, and then chain 3 and repeat the same into this side, and then chain 3, and then single crochet into the next chain 2 space. And now we just repeat the same all the way around. When you see a flat corner, you're going to be doing just one little group of 4 double crochets together. When you see the deeps, you are going to be doing this little stitch that we did here. All right, so I'm going to be following the same steps all the way around, and then I'm going to meet you right at the end. So now when you get at the end, all you have to do is to chain 3, I single crochet into the same stitch where we have the first single crochet, and then I slip stitch into the single crochet, and that's it. So here we have the next round completed. So now we are going to be doing the second round to complete this square. So from here, we are gonna go straight into the middle of this group. So we are going to be doing 4 double crochets. And then we are going to chain 2 and then 4 double crochets into that same stitch. Just as we did with the green. Exactly the same into the second round of the green. And then when you find a single crochet, so you're going to be skipping all this, go into the single crochet and then single crochet. And then from here we are gonna go straight into the middle again of the next stitch. And then we are going to be doing exactly the same. So 4 double crochets, a chain of 2 and 4 double crochets. Single crochet into the next single crochet. And now we found the corner. So in here we are going to go straight into that stitch that I showed you previously. And then into this corner, into this stitch, we are going to be doing 3 groups of 4 double crochets, and then we are going to be chaining 2 in between them. So first we create 4 double crochets, there we go, and then chain 2, 4 double crochets, chain 2 and 4 double crochets. So now we have all the stitch completed. So find the single crochet and then single crochet right on top. And then from here you will find half of the stitch again, half of the square. And now we can just do 2 sets, 2 groups of 4 double crochets and a chain 2 in between them. All right, so following again the same steps as here on this side. So we've completed this one, single crochet into the next single crochet, and then from here we are going to be following the same steps all the way around, and then I'm going to meet you right at the end so that we can finish this one off together. So when you get at the end, so I have finished here at the corner, just find a little stitch on top of here the single crochets, and then you're going to slip stitch. And now we can cut the yarn and change into the last shade, in which I'm going to be doing in burgundy. So here we have 4 rounds of squares completed, and in total we have 7, because for each square we have 2 rounds and this one is just 1. So 2, 4, 6, 7 rounds in total. So what I'm going to be doing now is creating 1 more round of squares going all the way around with the burgundies. And then once I have the burgundy completed, I'm going to be doing 1 more round going all the way around, because once you complete a round of squares, 2 rounds to complete 1 round of squares, you have all these little deeps here, all right, all the points. So you're going to be creating the next round so it's nice and straight, so that we can create a base all the way around. And to do that, we have to do the previous round before we complete the square. So basically following the same steps as round number 6 in this case. So I'm going to be having the square completed plus 1 round following the same as round number 6. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that so that I can show you how to do the base right on top of all this. So when I come back, I'm going to be having 10 rounds completed, and then from there I can show you how to do the base going all the way around. So here it is, the 10 rounds now completed. You can see that I've added 3 more, so 2 with the burgundy and then 1 with the nude again, because then the colors will start again if you want to continue and create more rounds depending on what you're doing. And because this is just a swatch, I'm going to be stopping it right here so that I can show you how to do the little base all the way around if you want to attach to something else, or if you just want to have a nicer straight finishing as well. And remember that you can do any edging you want once you have the base completed, because then you will have it nice and straight all the way around, and then you're also gonna have stitches to work with rather than raw a raw edge like this one, so it's good to have a little base. So once you have the sizing that you want, now we are going to be doing the very last step, which is just creating the final straight finishing all the way around. So I'm going to be starting with a chain of 2 because we are going to be working with half double crochets. You can do single crochets, you can do double crochets if you want all the way around. It will just depend on what you're going to be doing next. If you're going to be doing an edging, for example, that has like peacocks or shells, like a beautiful edging, then maybe you can do with single crochets. If you just want to keep it nice and straight, like what I'm going to be doing, you can do half double crochets like I'm doing now. And if you want it to be a little bit longer, the edging, then you can do with double crochets instead. So for every chain 3 space, we are going to be doing 2 half double crochets. So here we have a chain 3, so I'm going to be doing 2 half double crochets into the chain 3 space. So now when we get into the double crochets together, into this section, we are going to be having 3 stitches that we have to work with. So we have the first one that it's right at the beginning, right after the chain 3. So we are going to get this one and we are going to be creating 1 half double crochet into that stitch, and then 1 half double crochet right in between this stitch into this gap, and then another half double crochet into the next stitch, which is right after the space, which is right on top of this 4 double crochets together. So right here. So we want to make sure that we get all the stitches and that we have it nice and straight and even all the way across from one side, one corner to the other. So now we got into the chain 3 space, so we are going to be doing 2 half double crochets into the chain 3 space, and then we got here into the single crochet, so 1 half double crochet, and then we got again here into the chain 3, so 2 half double crochets, and now we got into the double crochets together. So first we are going to be doing 1 half double crochet into this first stitch on top of this one, and then 1 half double crochet right in the middle, and then 1 half double crochet on top of this 4 double crochets together, just like this. And then from here you can just follow the same all the way down until you get to the first corner. So when I'm here, I will be back to show you what to do. So when you get into the first corner, we have the single crochet here at the beginning first, so make sure that you have a half double crochet right into that single crochet, and then we have a chain 3 space, so we are going to be doing 2 half double crochets into that chain 3 space, and then now here into the corner we are going to go into the last stitch right on top of this 4 double crochets together. So we are going to be skipping this first one here, so go right into that one, and then we are going to be creating 2 half double crochets, a chain of 1 and 2 half double crochets all into that same corner, so it creates a nice corner here. So now from here we have the chain 3, so we are going to be doing 2 half double crochets into the chain 3, and then, oh god, it's getting stuck somewhere, there we go. And then we have the single crochet, so 1 half double crochet into that, and then from here we have the same stitches as on this side, so we are going to be repeating all the way to the next corner the same steps. So I've completed this side, as you can see, so now I got into my next corner, so we are going to be doing 1 into this single crochet, a half double crochet, and now we have here the 3 chain space, so we are doing 2 half double crochets. So now we are going to be skipping this stitch that we have here, going into the one right on top of this 4 double crochets together, and then we are going to be creating 2 half double crochets, a chain of 1 and 2 half double crochets all into that same stitch, just like that, and it creates a really nice pointy corner, as you can see. And then from here you can just follow the same steps. So I'm gonna go all the way around. I have 2 more corners to complete. This one is going to be the last one, and then I will be back with you once I finish all around. I'll be back here at the end so that I can show you exactly what you have to do. So when you get at the end, I've created here my last corner, as you can see. So I'm going to be doing 2 half double crochets into here the last chain 3 space. And I can see here that I have a large gap, and if I slip stitch, I'm going to have like a gap here. So I'm just going to do an extra half double crochet here. And now I can just skip the chain 2 that we've created, go straight into the first half double crochet stitch right here at the top. You can see the little V. Go into that stitch, and then I'm going to slip stitch both sides together, and then I'm going to chain 1, cut my yarn, and then we can fasten off. And before I show you the completed swatch, I'm going to be doing all the weave in, and if you don't know how to weave in, I have a tutorial on that, so I'll link here in the little eye, so feel free to check it out. So I'm just gonna do quickly here the weave in, and then I will be back to show you the completed pattern. So here it is, our beautiful Catherine Harley Quinn. I don't know the name of this pattern, so if you know exactly the name of this pattern, let me know in the comments. I would love to know, because as I've learned with my auntie from Brazil, I'm not sure exactly the name of this pattern, but I just know that it's beautiful, and I really wanted to share with you. And this is how it looks. It's so amazing. It looks incredible. I love the shades all together. You can do any shade you want. You can do 2 shades as well for each of the shell square rows. Are these little things squares every time it goes up, or are they shells / squares? Because here in the corner it looks like squares, but then when it comes to the middle part of it, it looks like little shells, kind of rounds and shells and squares. I don't know, it's a mixture. It's a mixture of emotions, this pattern. I love this so much. And also I love that it's super nice and square, that it's going to look amazing for a blanket, for example. My auntie, she used to make placemats with these ones because she loved square placemats. So she used like cotton yarns to create her placemats, and then she used to make these. Also, she made a table runner with a lot of different squares, like probably a little bit bigger than this, side by side, and then she made a beautiful table runner as well. She made cushion covers and also baby blankets. So yeah, this is what we have learned in today's video. Let me know in the comments how it was for you to follow this project, and if you have enjoyed working at this pattern, and if you end up posting on Instagram a picture of this amazing pattern, stitch pattern, into any project that you are planning on using. Don't forget to tag me at Brunaticality so that I can see your beautiful crochet project using this stitch right here, this stitch pattern. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed today's project, and if you did, don't forget to leave your massive thumbs up as you always do. Thank you so much for supporting and all the love that you have here for the channel. So thank you everyone for watching. Also, don't forget to subscribe so that you can watch more videos like this one. So thank you everyone for watching again today's video, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.